Hello. So I tried to make this video before, but my phone died twice. So I'm gonna try again. I wanted to make a video and talk to you about a few things while I'm making some chicken soup for our family. We're actually home late, and normally if I was coming home this late, I honestly would like stop by a drive-through and grab something to eat, and just like I feel like we're in survival mode, and it can become so easy to like run through a drive-through, and we have had that option removed from us lately because we had some testing done for our family, which is kind of a longer story, but and we found out that of the 6 people I had tested, 6 of us have major food sensitivities. And so I was hoping to like wait until we moved to really like dig in and figure out how to manage all these sensitivities and things. Okay, sorry, kids fighting in the other room. So I'm going to kind of do like a couple of different things. One of the things I'm going to show you a really easy chicken soup recipe. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those food sensitivities. I wanted to wait until we moved before I really dug in and kind of cut out all the stuff that we need to. And I found out I pretty much can't wait because some of my kids are really getting affected by them. And so although we're like right in the middle of the holidays and I'm sure we won't do it perfectly, I'm going to do my best in their daily life to try to get rid of the stuff that's causing a lot of inflammation and neurological stuff. So hold on one second. Okay, so because we had such a busy day today and we were coming home, I normally would have just stopped by a drive-through. Honestly, like I feel like I've been hitting them so much lately. We're just in survival mode, and it's not a good habit, but it's something that's just become so easy to do. And so before I left the house, I made the decision that I was going to make bone broth really quickly. So while Sean was getting everybody in the van, you can't see it. It's like my messy house.
Can I see the people? I want to see the people.
I took my Instapot and I set it up, and I made bone broth.
Hello, world!
Real life, people. Real life.
Hello, world!
Go. So on our way out the door, I had Sean like getting the kids in the van, and I knew that I had a rotisserie chicken that was in our refrigerator. One of these, if you shop at BJ's, like a Harvest Land rotisserie chicken. And so I took the chicken carcass, like all the bones and everything and the skin, and I threw it in the Instapot with a little bit of olive oil on the bottom. And I'm just going to show you some of the ingredients that I added. So I added a whole bunch of this stuff. I totally eyeball it. It's just to taste. And then I'm going to show you what the bones look like when it's done. And I just reserved all the chicken meat because I knew I was going to make soup when I came home. You could also do this like overnight. One of the things that, or if you're going to work, you can put on the bone broth in the morning. It really wasn't, when you get used to it, the actual making of the bone broth doesn't take a long time. It's very quick. It's literally like putting all the stuff in the pot and turning it on and then walking away for 2 hours. One of the things I love about the Instapot is that I feel like just for the bone broth and the amount of time it saves me and me not having to babysit it is huge. I feel like we're always kind of running around, and just having something that I can stick a lid on and know it's safe and walk away from it for a little bit has been super helpful to me. Because I have attention deficit, I would like walk away from stuff and it would like burn down. I'd lose some of the water. I'd have to kind of babysit it if I was doing it before. So this works out really well for us. Anyhow, you throw all the carcass and everything into your pot. I had some olive oil on the bottom, and then like one of the main things I add is salt. So that's one thing. And then what I have in the house right now is I've add onion powder, garlic powder, or you could just add onion and garlic, black pepper, And then I add cumin and turmeric. And then the other thing I'll add is apple cider vinegar. It helps to like break down all those connective tissues and everything. It helps to break it all down. And I think it adds like just a little bit more flavor. So I also have like a veggie blend seasoning. And so there's been times where I've added like seasoning salts and other things. If you have different seasonings, you can make whatever, you can add whatever you like the taste of, but those are just the things that I have in my house that are pretty much my go-tos. And then you just fill it up with water and then set it on the soup broth setting for 2 hours and walk away. And when you come back, when you're done, your bones are going to come out. So I just put a strainer over a big pot, about the size of this pot that is in my Instapot, and then I just pour it all over. It drains through and it collects all the stuff. And your bones will do this. So whether you make it on the stove, in your crock pot, or in the Instapot, you want to cook it to the point where your bones do this, where they like break apart, because you're able to get to all that marrow and the other stuff that's on the inside. So I'm just pinching them, and those bones are just crumbling, and it means that like you've been able to get in there and get all that nutrition. And while I was grocery shopping, I ended up with a huge pot of bone broth. So I'll use this a lot of times for stocks. I'll cook rice with it. I'll do all sorts of things, but I have all this bone broth. And it really just took a few minutes to throw it on, and then it came back and it was all done. Okay, so now my soup. So then I came home, and like I said, I was very tempted to run through, drive through, but I know I'd made that effort to make that, and I also know that it just benefits our whole family when I make good food. Say hello.
Hi.
Okay, go help your sister.
No,
Toddlers. Okay, so I came home, I threw some olive oil in a pot, and then I just threw in minced up onion, put it in the pot with the olive oil, let it saute, and while that was happening, I went and I grabbed... Okay, it's definitely dinner time. Okay, so I sauteed some onions, and while I was sauteing the onions, I just chopped up all the chicken, and then I also, after I emptied the pot of the bone broth out into the other big pot, I used the pot, my Instapot pot, and I made some rice. So I just quickly made rice in the Instapot while I was chopping up the chicken. And so now I have the rice, I have the onions are cooked, and now I'm just ready to take my chicken. This is just all chopped up. And throw it on top of the onions. I always toss it back in the bag as I'm chopping it. And I'm just going to add a little bit more salt and pepper for seasoning. I'm going to have to aim this so you can see. Let me see if I can do that. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay, anyhow. Can you see that? So, I just threw my chicken in, some salt and pepper, Can you see that? Just gonna mix it around with the onion. And then you can add whatever vegetable you want, but I am gonna add organic peas. You see these? And I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it. Again, just mix it all around. And then I'm going to take my rice that is already cooked in the Instant Pot. Do that. And I'm going to throw that in too. My kitchen is never like clean, so I'm just a messy cook. We use it all the time. So I'm gonna throw that rice in there. Now I just used jasmine rice tonight because that's what I had on hand, and my kids are going through a lot of dietary changes right now, and so this is something that I know that they will eat. And normally I would add like a mixed vegetable with different type of veggies, but actually we found out that some of the things that we're restricted to are things like corn and carrots, interestingly enough. So I can't really add that to the soup. So I'm just going to put in what I know they can eat. And I'm just going to save a little bit of the rice. I oftentimes will have leftover rice and use it with other things like eggs in the morning, or other stuff. And then I will just add my bone broth on top of this. So I'm going to turn my pots so they can be kind of like best friends right next to each other, because I tend to be very messy, and you know, I spill things a lot and make messes, but I'm just gonna ladle, if I can find my ladle. This is a very well thought out video, can you tell? All right, so I'm gonna ladle this into here. Now, when you're making bone broth, your broth, when it settles, any of the fat and stuff will come up and kind of rest along the top. Some people will skim that off and some people won't. But I'm just going to put a lot in here. And I'm impatient, so I get to about that point and then I grab something bigger. And as long as it's stirred up,
what is this guy?
you can just add as much liquid as you want. The rice will absorb a lot, especially as like the day goes, as it goes on, like if it's sitting in the fridge, it'll absorb a lot of the moisture. So I like to add a lot of the liquid. And I have some kids that are just like broth kids. They just like the broth. And I really don't fight them too much on it because I know how much nutrition is in it. And a lot of times I'll add vegetables or vegetable scraps to it because I know that if my kids are only going to eat the broth, then at least they're going to eat broth that's super, super healthy. And so I'll just reserve the rest of that bone broth, and I have a full, you know, pot of chicken rice soup. It's ready to go for dinner. And it really didn't take that long. All right. I'm going to try to turn this again. Okay, so I didn't go to the drive-thru, and sometimes that's like the win, is just choosing to do the healthy thing and show love for your family by making something that you would have preferred maybe not to cook that night. But when you get started, it's really not that bad. So I'm going to serve this up for dinner. But I think I'm just going to make a separate video talking a little bit about the food sensitivities that we found out we had and some of the things that I found that we can eat. Whereas I didn't realize how hard it would be to find things when there's a lot of food sensitivities in one family. So I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to set up everybody for dinner, and then I will show you some of the stuff that we got at the grocery store today. Okay? Hope everybody's doing well. See you soon. Oh, also, this is a new channel. The main reason for doing it was to keep in touch with family members when we move and relocate down south, which we have about 3 more weeks that we're here before we do that. So that's the main reason. But if you want to get alerts when the new videos come out, then you can like, subscribe, or share the videos, and that is really helpful as well, because I don't post all of them on Facebook. I don't know. I think everybody's like, some of them I just don't. So if you want to like, subscribe, and share, you will get the videos as I put them out. So thank you so much. Talk to you soon. God bless you. Bye.